Hello guys, welcome to Mindset Shift Mondays. This really feels like the part of my channel where it's free-flowing, no real preparation. It's just coming fully from me, from my heart to you guys. First of all, let's acknowledge that I've decided to film in a different area this week because I thought the lighting was a lot better than in my room. I've been on my little list for my Mindset Shift Mondays videos and I've decided what it is that I want to talk to you guys about today. But the first thing that I want to mention though is keeping you accountable, because remember last week we talked about choosing the lens through which you want to view life. It's quite a valuable video, I think, for helping you reframe your mindset and having better days and looking at life in a more positive way, which will help you navigate life a lot lighter and with a bit more happiness and a little bit more pep to your step, basically. So I'm here to keep you guys accountable, asking you if you did use the technique, how often did you use it, and did you find it useful when you did use it? Because for me personally, I used it probably once this week, maybe twice, once that I can remember, and I don't know for the other times, because sometimes these things become like second nature to me. But that time when I used it yesterday, I think it definitely made a big difference to the way I was looking at my day, because I was not having the best day yesterday. But today, we're doing a lot better. Okay, so now that we've talked about this, let's talk about this week's topic, which is who's dimming your light. And before we talk about actually this concept of who's dimming your light, we need to talk about the light. What is the light? And for me, I feel like a lot of us understand this concept of the light, but if we didn't, and if I had to explain it to someone, I think I would say that I believe that every single individual, every single person in this world has a little light within themselves. Imagine like a little tiny candle that's within every single individual, within every one of us. And this light shines more or less bright. And what makes a light shine more or less bright is that the more that somebody is living the life that they want to live, the more that somebody feels aligned with who they are and what their life looks like, the brighter this light shines, okay? And then the more somebody feels like they're going against what they were meant to do here, the more people feel like they're walking away of their purpose, the less brightly this light shines. But this light never disappears. It's always there. It can be the tiniest little flicker of light, or it can be the biggest fire that literally breaks through you and extends to the environment around you and to other people. And so for that to show that example, we all know somebody in our life that when they get into a room, suddenly everybody feels uplifted. Suddenly it just feels like the room got a little bit brighter. If everybody's a bit happier, the smiles are a little bit deeper, the laughters are, people start laughing a bit more. People feel inspired, they feel uplifted, elevated. We know that person that just gets into a room and suddenly, wow, everything got a bit lighter, a little bit brighter. But we also know that person that gets into a room and suddenly people were laughing, now they're not. People were chatting to each other, now they're not. And suddenly everything feels a little darker, a little bit more constricted. You know what I mean? You can feel those energies sometimes. And I'm pretty sure that all of us have experienced these examples in our own life. And so my thing today with talking about this video is thinking about who is dimming your light, okay? Because if there's people out there that are able to live life so aligned with themselves that this little light, this little candle that used to be in them is now a full-blown fire that extends through them and shines onto everything that they encounter, that can also happen for you. They're not that unique, okay? That's not something that's reserved only for them. That's something that can also happen to you. But the only thing is that right now, there are certain things that are dimming your light. There are certain things that are preventing this light from shining, this little candle from becoming a full-blown fire. And so we're going to talk about these things. Who is dimming your light, guys? Who is it? And to talk about this, we can realize that there's two different groups of people, let's say, that can be dimming your light. It can be other people, and it can be yourself. And actually, when we think about it, it always comes down to it's yourself. It's you. It's not other people. Because somebody else could be dimming your light, somebody else could be trying to dim your light, but you could be not allowing them to do that, right? They can try and try and try, but you can like put a sort of metaphorical, no, I'm not going to let you dim my light. I'm going to continue shining as bright as I want to. So when you have instances, for let's say in my own life, I had a moment when I was going through, applying to medical school. Some of my teachers were really, really, really negative towards me and had a lot of horrible things to say, basically, that I was never going to get into medical school in the UK, and that it was not even worth trying, and that in April time, when all of the responses would have come out, I would be crying in their office being like, yeah, you were right, I didn't get in, now what? Okay? And that was obviously a moment where my light was where they attempted to dim my light. So they attempted to prevent me from walking into this life that I was creating for myself, this life that felt aligned with who I wanted to be, right, at the time. And they tried to do that. And then it came to me. I had a choice. Am I gonna let them? Am I gonna let them dim my light? And because I knew about personal development, I have a very, very supportive family, I was able to do my hardest to prevent them from dimming that, from allowing myself to continue shining. Obviously, it was hard at times, but I made the decision, you know what, I'm not gonna let them affect me too much. I'm not gonna take their words for my own. These are just their words, okay? So I've prevented them from dimming my light. But it could have been a universe, an alternative universe, where I let them dim my light, and I was like, you know what, that's true, they're right. I can't go into medical school in the UK. Who was I to think that I would have the ability to do that? And then I would have dimmed my light, and then I would not even have tried, and obviously I would not be here in the UK studying medicine. So that's kind of option one, where other people try to dim your light. And then the other person that can be dimming your light is yourself. And again, a lot of the times of what I'm doing is I'm pointing back the fingers to us, you know? It's enough of pointing the fingers everywhere else but towards ourselves. So a lot of the times when we're not shining as brightly as we want to, it's because we're not allowing ourselves to shine. We don't trust that we'll shine bright at all. We're like, well, I'm not that pretty, or I'm not that smart, I don't have the money, I can't do this, I can't do that, I won't, I don't have. And if you're in that mindset, I don't have, then obviously you're preventing yourself from shining. So now let's move on to two different things that you can do and implement this week. If you're more in the category of other people are trying to bring you down and dim your light, what is it that you can do this week to take your power back? What is it that you can do this week to be like, you know what, I'm not gonna allow them to dim my light. Enough. I know I can shine bright, so I'm just gonna let them buy some sunglasses. You know, I'm gonna let them buy some shades and they can deal with my light. What is it that you can do to take small steps this week to feeling like you can separate from these people that are trying to keep you in the shadows, trying to keep you from shining as bright as you want to? That's for the people that are struggling with external forces trying to dim their lights. For the people that are struggling with internal forces, as in you are the reason as to why you're not shining as bright as you would want to, because you're not allowing yourself to shine for whatever reason it is. If it's because you're struggling with insecurities, if it's because you grew up in a household or with people that told you that you were never going to be enough, that you were never capable of doing things, and so now you're living with this feeling of like, I can't do this. I've been told my whole life that I cannot achieve anything, so why would it start now? What is it that you can do this week to start taking small baby steps to breaking down those barriers, dissolving those patterns that have been ingrained in you? Is it that you need to stand up in front of the mirror every single day for 5 minutes? I'm enough, I'm enough, I'm enough, I'm loved, I'm capable, I'm capable. Is that what you want to do or need to do? Maybe you want to start listening to that could help you with that. So any personal development podcast, Jay Shetty, so the On Purpose, Diary of a CEO, I have a video about it, I'll leave it in the links. Or is it that you want to find a book that will help you work on your insecurities, for example? So what is it that you can do this week to take a small baby step or small baby steps towards dissolving those patterns that have been created for you? And you'll realize that the more you work on dissolving those patterns from the root cause, the brighter this little light will start shining. And at one point, you're going to be like, wow, I've done all of this work and this light is shining so brightly. It's never shown this bright, and I didn't even know that I could shine this bright and bring this much joy to other people's life and have so much joy within myself, because whatever is within you, you share to the world. So I think that's what we will be talking about this week. I don't want this video to be too long, but basically, if you're struggling with other people trying to dim your light, how can you reclaim your own power? How can you bring your energy back to you? How can you prevent them from having an impact on you and on your light? And so reclaiming your light and allowing yourself to shine as brightly as you want to. And if you're struggling with yourself being the reason why you're not shining as bright as you would want to? What are the small things that you can do this week to slowly but surely dissolve those barriers, slowly but surely dissolve those patterns, so that you can allow yourself, that little baby candle, to shine brighter and brighter and brighter, week by week, month by month, year by year. And one day you'll turn around and you'll be like, wow, all this work was really worth it. Look at how bright I'm shining now, and look at how much this light has grown, and look at how much more I can share and bring to the world by allowing my own self to just authentically shine as bright as I want to. So yeah, I hope this was useful to you. Again, we'll be talking together every single Monday on Mindset Shifts Mondays. And if this video was useful to you, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video with other people that could benefit from it as well. And yeah, I'm gonna edit this, and then it will be posted tomorrow. Yeah, bye guys. I appreciate you all.